Nathan Macintosh. Please welcome Nathan Macintosh.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out. How you guys doing tonight? Everyone wicked? That is absolutely amazing. I just want to say, before anybody comes up to me after the show and is like, hey, man, you kind of look like that guy from that show. Yes, everyone, I do look like Fry from Futurama, okay? And it is not my fault at all right? I didn't pick this. Nobody came down and was like, hey, do you want to look like a man or a cartoon? A cartoon, yeah! Because every girl wants to sleep with Tintin, all of them. Impossible to look like two cartoons, man. I am not originally from Toronto. I'm from Halifax, Nova Scotia. And thank you. I've been living here for a while, and I am done with the transit system in this city, okay? I'm done. I got on the subway the other day, man, and a crazy guy got on, which happens way too much in this city, okay? We have almost lost the subway system to the crazies, all right? It's almost time to just give it to them. Just throw cement in the stairwells, and if they want to run around down there wearing cloaks and carrying lanterns, have it, it's yours, man, because you'll get on the subway and maybe some guy will get on beside you and he'll take a pigeon out of his pocket. And try to sell it on the train. Or some guy will just take a shit right there in the seat, man. But what I love about the crazy people is they always know exactly where they're going, you know? It doesn't matter what they're mumbling about. They're like, oh, unicorns are the reason that my shoes are made of meat. Young Street, that's me. Like, how the hell? You possibly know that, man. You're not even wearing shoes. Like, how do you... I'm not crazy, and every once in a while I forget where I live, you know? And this city is messed up anyway, man. Like, I'm sure a lot of people heard about the man who lit a bus on fire. If you didn't hear about it, basically, a man lit a bus on fire. Okay? It's a big deal. And that's not even the whole story. He was waiting for a bus, and there was a girl beside him, and he was like, hey, lady, can I have an extra cigarette? And she was like, no, sir, I'm sorry, I don't have one. So then he did the gentlemanly thing, punched her full in the face. Because that's what you do when somebody doesn't have what you want, right? You just try to destroy this human being, man. Then the bus pulls up and he gets on. The bus driver's like, dude, I just saw what you did to that woman. You gotta get off this thing. And he had a bag of lighter fluid with him. And he's like, oh yeah? You think I give a damn about this bus? Boom, now it's on fire. Which is awesome, but let's break down what this guy did, okay? He did two of the craziest things you can do on this planet in less than 5 seconds, okay? He punched a woman in the face, and he lit a city bus on a city street on fire. Now, I think he should get some time for punching a woman in the face. That is not cool at all, okay? But I think he should get 2 weeks knocked off of that time for lighting a bus on fire, okay? Because who has not wanted to light a bus on fire, man? We have all been there. You get on, the driver's like, it's really packed, and he's like, all right, everybody, keep moving to the back. There is no more room back here, dude. Nothing. You want me to get in that guy's pocket? Because that is all that is here. Or heaven forbid, you forget to ask for a transfer when you first walk on, and you got to go up to the driver and be like, listen, Lord of everything. I know that this is against the Geneva Convention and human nature, but is there any way, sir, I could please? And he's always like, well, you know, there's rules and there's regulations and my glasses are crooked and you really should have just asked when you first got on. It's like, dude, you are lucky I don't have a bag of lighter fluid, okay? Or this entire bus, starting with you. And what I love, too, is that you know that that was that crazy guy's moment in the sun, you know? He peaked on that day, okay? Because the rest of us want to be like doctors or lawyers or whatever, but crazy people have their own system of what is totally awesome, you know? So I'm sure he punched the woman in the face, lit the bus on fire, and then just stood back and looked at it all and was like, I've made it, and then ran into the night. Went home and put on a cape and ate Nutella or whatever it is that he does. I I don't know how to get into this, everybody, so I am just gonna do it. I do not have all of my front teeth, okay? Don't have them. One of my teeth I can take out like a boxcar hobo, okay? And it is hard enough to talk about it, so I'm not taking it out. But what happened was when I was little, I got elbowed in the face, and it had an infection in it, so a year ago I had to get it pulled out. And as soon as the doctor pulled it out, I was like, damn it. I just lost all of my credibility on this planet, man, because nobody respects anybody that does not have all of their front teeth, okay? College diplomas and any kind of education mean nothing if you do not have a full set of teeth in your face, okay? If your doctor came into the room and didn't have a front tooth and was like, hey, I'm just gonna operate on you, fuck you, dude, I'll do it myself. Wouldn't even let him near you. If Barack Obama wakes up tomorrow missing a front tooth, until he gets that fixed, he is no longer running the free world, okay? And it sucks. This is actually the second fake tooth that I've had in my life, because a couple of weeks ago, I was at home brushing my tooth, which is not glamorous by any stretch, but it's what Nathan has come to live with, okay? So I'm brushing this tooth, and then I dropped it. I dropped the tooth, and in slow motion, I was like, that tooth is fine. Like, it's gonna be money. It's gonna hit the sink and bounce back into my mouth, and they're gonna yell cut on a Colgate commercial I didn't even know I was a part of. Now what happened, though, the tooth hit the sink and shattered, okay? Shattered. So I'm 24 years old, looking at my toothless self in the mirror, and a shattered fake tooth in the sink, and the first thought that came to my head was like, man, I've got to get a lot funnier right now. Like today, there's no more waiting for this shit. Like, oh, in a couple of years, I'll be really funny and people will like me. No, I need to take this tooth and use it as a muse and write 2 hours of the craziest shit anyone's ever seen. Now what happened, though, I tried to crazy glue a fake tooth back together, everybody. I don't know if you had a mirror in front of you when you were at your lowest point in life. Like maybe you had to go to the food bank one day and you just carried a cosmetic mirror watching yourself like, this sucks. Or sat in front of the mirror while you were listening to a Jonas Brothers CD or whatever it was. But I'm crazy gluing this tooth back together and I'm just thinking like, how did this happen at 24? Did I sleep through a divorce? Like, what the hell happened to me? Do I got like 5 kids that hate me somewhere, man? Really sucks about this tooth is that over this past year, it is weird talking to girls, okay? It is odd because it's not a first date thing. You cannot say like, oh, hey, can I buy you a drink? Also, I don't have all the human dignity teeth. You cannot say that. That is like that kind of thing is something you hold for like 2 years into a marriage, man. And girls come to my house and I'm supposed to sleep at night like a hobo, okay? They want me to take the tooth out and lay cardboard on my bed and set up a bindle and play the harmonica, but I'm not doing it. I do not want to do any of those things, okay? But if I don't take it out, then the next day it's all wobbly and stuff, and I'm like, that sex was not worth this wobbly tooth. So basically, I have a little, I have a rule, all right? I will not tell the girl unless the sex was good, okay? Like, if she doesn't come, I don't come forth. That is basically my rule. But if she does, then I take the tooth out and she's like, what the hell? And I'm like, yeah, I bet you didn't know you like toothlessness. And then I just pass out. I deal with that the next day. I think I'm with a lot of people when I say I am done with Facebook. Can everyone just say that is it with Facebook? For one, because I've been single on Facebook now for a little while, and when you're single on Facebook, you get those little dating website ads that make fun of you every single time you log in. And at first they started off cool. It was like, hey Nathan, do you want to meet hot girls? I'm like, yeah, hot girls, that's awesome. And then they appeal more to your man side as the months go on. It's like, yo, dude, do you like tits? Covered in oil with girls attached to them? I'm like, yeah, I do. Girls, tits, and oil. Let's wrap all of that up. Now I've been single on Facebook so long, the ads literally say, do you like girls? As if like my grade 8 bully is making these dating website ads, man. And I'm just tired of it because me and my ex-girlfriend broke up and she was like, we should stay friends on Facebook. And I was like, I would like to get over this sometime in my life. Because if you and somebody break up and stay friends on Facebook, it's like you never broke up at all, man. It's like they're sitting beside you 24 hours a day, telling you what events they're going to and how they're feeling. Like, oh, I'm a little happy. I'm a little sad. I just had breakfast. Oh, and here's who I'm fucking now, yeah. But yeah, me and my ex-girlfriend broke up, and me and her never fought at all, which sounds like the coolest thing in the world. It's like, that guy went through a relationship where they didn't fight. But no, it sucks, because that's totally the reason that we broke up, okay? Because we didn't know how to handle these situations. So the one time that we did fight, we're arguing with each other about stuff we've clearly been holding in for months, you know? Like, I told you I didn't eat that chicken finger. Shit that should have been resolved at the time, you know? So here's my advice to anyone. If you're seeing somebody and things are going good and you guys haven't fought yet and it's been like 4 or 5 months, just start some shit, okay? Just jab that person in the throat or poke them in the eye. Start something. And they're like, why are you doing this? To save this relationship. Because if you do not fight for a long time, then you do, it is over, okay? It doesn't matter how big or small the fight is. It could just be like, hey, where's my pen? Pen? Where's my life, bitch? And the whole thing over a pen, man. Me and her actually got into one fight. We got into a fight about the yoga pants, stretch pants. Because she came home one day and she was like, Nathan, I'm gonna go out and buy $100 pair of stretch pants. And I was like, are you crazy right now? You can go to Walmart and buy $15 stretch pants that will do the same thing. And she goes, no, Nathan, you can't. Also, what I should say is when I do that girl voice, I'm not trying to make fun of girls at all, okay? I'm not. Because my voice pretty much sounds like that anyways, all right? But I need something to differentiate, and I can't just be like, no, you can't, Nathan, because who is that girl? And why is she so angry and tall? Like... But anyway, she's like, no, you can't. I need those pants, because those ones make my ass look good. And I was like, oh, really? Do you know what else makes your ass look good? No pants at all. Let me try that. I guarantee, girls, if you walk down the street with no pants on, guys will be like, hello, how are you? That is a fact. Especially if you had $100 in your hand that you just saved, you know? So yeah, I've been going on a lot of dates recently, which really suck. They are not fun, except it must be amazing to be a girl on a date, man. It must be the best things you can do with your time. Like, hey, what are you up to tonight? Oh, me? Well, I'm gonna go get shit for free, and if I wanna fuck, I can. Peace! Like, it must be awesome. So awesome to be a girl on a date, man. Like writing a test with all the answers. Just the easiest thing. And I know that I'm one of the whitest human beings you will ever see in your life, okay? Like, as I've stood up here, I get burnt by these goddamn lights, okay? This sucks, but I am done dating white girls. Don't want to do it anymore, okay? Here's the reason. It's because I know that white girls look good, okay? Nathan knows. But white girls do not know that they look good, okay? Take the hottest white girl in the world every day of her life. She's gonna get up and look in the mirror and be like, my hair is so stupid, and look at this fat right hand. I can't leave the house with this fat hand, but my nostrils are too oval, and one of my eyes is bigger than the other. You're fucking winking right now, of course. I dated one black girl in my life, okay? And I swear to God, if I could trade my mom for 2 more, my mom's gone, okay? Gone. I don't know where she'd go. I don't care. I would give my mom to Somalian pirates, all right? For 2 black girls, man. Because like I said, I dated one, and she had the most confidence out of anyone I've ever met, man. Like one day she asked me how she looked, and when I started to give my opinion, she was like, your opinion can suck my dick. But that is amazing. You asked me how you looked, and then you told me to blow you. That doesn't make most confidence ever. And then every white girl I've ever dated, I don't have any knees. Where? How does my leg even bend with this thing? Plus, gross. They're too low in my leg. I've got too much thigh. And not a calf. I hate going to clubs, man, because for one, I hate when you walk in and you hear the DJ go, all right, all the sexy people in here, make some noise. And the ugliest looking trolls, man. Looks like some of these people crawled out from under a bridge. Check their coat and hooves. And then hit the dance floor. And I also can't stand them because there's always just a group of guys standing on the wall doing nothing. It's like, what are you doing right now? Are you waiting for a girl to pass out so you can swarm her? Is that what this is? Like, yo, dude, that girl's about to fall down. I got her. So ridiculous, man. Like, the place is called a dance club. It has dance in the title, okay? Like, I don't think you would go to a movie theater and buy a ticket and then hang out in the lobby, man. And plus, it amazes me how, like, offended some girls get at clubs when they get hit on. They just get so angry. They're like, listen, sir. They call you sir. That happens. Sir, I do not want to get hit on, okay? I am just here to hang out with my friends and dance, okay? And it's like, that's awesome. If you just want to hang out with your friends, fine. But if you do not want to get hit on, the club, probably the worst place to try to hide from guys, okay? Because guys will hit on you at the library, you know? Guys will hit on you while you're putting mail in the box. Just drive by and be like, nice maneuver. What the fuck? We do that, but the club, pretty much, that's what we're going to do. Say some horrible things to girls, okay? So I don't understand how a girl goes to a club and acts like she wasn't at least expecting to get hit on, you know? That'd be like me not expecting to get shot. If I was to walk into the woods during hunting season, dressed like a deer. And then when I do get shot, I turn around and go, what the hell is your problem, man? God, I just came here to dance. I also just think it's funny that girls can actually just turn down a guy at a club and be like, no, I don't want to get hit on tonight. Because girls can just get sex whenever they want. Whenever. Just walk into the bank and be like, I want to have sex. Me too. Gone. That is all that has to happen, you know? But when guys want to have sex, it's a little bit different, okay? We actually have to achieve some shit before we even make the attempt, you know? Like, we got to go to school, or get a job, or have a nationally televised comedy special. There's actual things we have to do, you know? Like, a guy can't drop out of school and go up to a girl with that resume, you know? Can't do that. But if a girl drops out of school and goes up to a guy and is like, hey, I dropped out of school. He's like, oh, really? Well, I guess you got a lot more time in your hands to fuck. Then don't you, because we don't care, okay? Think of it this way. A homeless man is not having sex, okay? Not at all. Way too many obstacles, okay? A homeless woman has a pretty good chance sometimes, okay? Because even if one came in here right now and was like, hey, any of you guys want to have sex? Everyone would be like, no, that's disgusting. But then as soon as she leaves, somebody's like, I gotta go have a smoke. I learned a lot of stuff from my parents growing up in Nova Scotia, everybody. Like, from my mom, I learned that if a bug is in the room, to freak out and yell at it and stuff, and then close the door and say that's a spider habitat. It is no longer a bedroom. And from my dad, I learned that if you're ever faced with a tough life decision, to just pack up your Trans Am and drive to Alberta. My dad drove away, which I think is hilarious for one, because who drives away in a Trans Am, you know? Other than Burt Reynolds in Smokey and the Bandit, man. But I don't know what my dad does for a living, but I'm assuming, because of the Trans Am, he's probably jumping over gorges in slow motion. Like waving a cowboy hat out the window, like, look at all the money I saved. And I know that people get sad when I talk about not having a dad. People look at me and they're like, oh my God. That guy doesn't have a dad. And I have a dad. And I love my dad. And I wouldn't trade my dad for all the cotton candy on Sugar Mountain. And that's cool, but I'll let you guys know, growing up in Nova Scotia, none of my friends had dads, okay? None of them. And we hated people with dads, all right? hated them. We looked at them like poor people do to rich people. Like, who the hell do you think you are, man? You think you're better than me? Somebody taught you how to play catch? You know who taught me? Gravity, bitch. That's who taught me. I actually met my dad one time, man. He came to my house when I was 5, and I was like, oh, look, a big, white, red-haired guy. He's like the bigger version of the small version that I am. And then he came in, he goes, yo, kid, you want to play 52-card pickup? And I was like, a game, yay! And my mom's like, no! Cards everywhere. And so I'm picking up cards, and then my dad's like, yo, kid, you want to hear a joke? I was like, I'm 5, man. Joke? That's awesome. And he goes, why did the orange stop in the middle of the road? I was like, I'm gonna have to remind you again, sir, that I am 5. I do not know. And he's like, because it ran out of juice. And then he disappeared out of my life forever, everybody. And I thought at that point in time, when I was that little, I was like, man, I will never do that to anybody, you know? When I grow up, I will totally tell better jokes than my dad. My name's Nathan Macintosh, guys. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nathan Macintosh.